Today, we're going to talk about Wandavision. Now, normally Taylor's on here with me, but he had something else he had to do. So I brought in my guy, Gary B, the casual comic guy, to break down all things Wandavision. So let's get started. I'm Jimmy Don Kerr, and this is the SmallTown Collectibles YouTube channel. What's
Hey,
going
Jimmy.
on, Gary B? How are we?
We're doing great, man. Having a great week. And yourself?
I'm good. Have you guys thawed out from the ice storm?
We've actually lost a lot of our snow, so it's been nice. We were buried for a minute, but it's been a little warmer the last couple of days. We got a little wind today, but not bad.
Well, I know
Nothing
last
we're
week
not used to.
I guess it was last week I was watching kind of the storm front, like it kind of came through here in Kentucky and then it was headed right up to you. And we had a ton of ice, and then some snow on top of that ice. So it kind of made it kind of harrowing as far as to get out and drive. But nothing, this time of the year, it's kind of the same thing for us too. So, um, Gary, we're on here today. I just wanted to talk to somebody about WandaVision. I see all these different channels talking about WandaVision, and I've been watching it and loving it, and I just want to talk about it.
Let's do it.
So I guess I just kind of start from the beginning. Like when it first started, it was almost like I thought, man, this is weird. If I'm being honest, it was good, but it was weird. It was like, watching Leave It to Beaver, right? You're watching Leave It to Beaver or one of those shows back in the day, and you knew that it was going to eventually move on from that. But like when it first started, like the first couple of episodes, what did you think about it?
I've been a big supporter of the show since its onset. I've really enjoyed it. I know the first 3 episodes threw a lot of people off, but they didn't throw me off. I I have enough trust in Marvel that I know that they're getting to something, and I know what the setup's for. And I enjoyed the alternate realities. I knew it had to do with Wanda, and I knew there was some trauma. And I like the little sprinkles they were putting into those episodes to let you know there's something bigger going on, which you already knew. But and I think the pace was fine. I know a lot of people have problems with the pacing, but for me, I'd rather have them set up a story. And as you've seen with these later episodes, all that setup has really paid off greatly because now you're seeing everything, how it ties together. And those first 3 episodes, I loved them when they came out. And now they're even better with the hindsight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And when it first started, I'm kind of like you. Marvel just has the reputation for this. You knew that this was going to end up being good, and it's ended up being phenomenal. Like,
Right. They're not
and
going to drop the baby.
no, right. And so, as it kind of moved on, like I said, the first 3 episodes, I didn't really know what to expect. I hadn't read anything about it, and I was a little behind. I didn't get to start like right when it dropped. And so the first 3, I was like, man, this is weird. Like, what is the deal with this? But when it kicked off, and you realize, and this is spoiler filled, guys, if you're watching this and you're not, because what we're getting ready to talk about, it is
Full
spoiler
spoilers.
filled. So just know that. And if you haven't watched the show, turn this off right now. So, but as it moves forward, you really kind of figure out that Wanda something's going on. She's in this bubble, and it is almost like a TV show. And you've got people actually on the outside of this bubble sitting there watching this like it's a TV show. And and it has a lot to do with, I think the trauma that you're talking about is probably where her brother died, and then Vision died, and in Avengers Endgame, and so it kind of sets it there, right? And she's essentially brought Vision back from the dead, and Vision doesn't know what's up.
Right. He has no recollection of his past or who he is or what he come from. He just remembers since being in there. And you get a little bit more of that in episode 8. We don't spend a lot of time with Vision in episode 8, but what I like is I'm pretty good at figuring stuff out, and it's really hard to throw me from what's going to happen. And they've had a couple cool misdirects because I definitely thought when they introduced Pietro that it was going to be a tie-in to bringing in the Fox universe, and that was their doorway in to the House of M and everything else. And the last couple episodes have kind of thrown that theory out the door. So I like that they set that up, made everybody talk about this, and then they completely did a 180 on it. And you find out, again, another misdirect was with Monica saying it's all Wanda. And then you come to find out it's not all Wanda. Especially with the FBI character asking Wanda who's doing this to you, because there has to be more.
Right.
And just it's great. It's layered, and it's what Marvel does well. They show you a little something, they get you guessing one way, pull it out, bring it in another direction, but they keep layering and layering and layering. And then once you're at the end of that journey, man, it all just peels back nicely and all comes together.
I think it was just cool, like the way they, even when they got on the outside, when Darcy comes in, from Thor, you've got her in, and she's sitting there. I think she's great. Like I love her as an actor. What was her name? Kat Dugan or something like that. She's
Kat Dennings,
and I think she's phenomenal, and she's funny, and she's sitting there watching the show. She's getting all this stuff figured out. And what I love about Marvel is you have all these little just intricacies, like the guy that plays the cop that was in Ant-Man. And, Ant-Man Scott Lang showing him the card trick. Well, he does the card trick in WandaVision. Like he's showing him, and he does the card trick. And I said, those are the things that with Marvel that I just love. And
well, they have the touches.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And so, like, where do you think this is going, Gary? Like, where do you think, like, if you had to guess, like, where do you think this WandaVision is? How many episodes are there going to be altogether?
There's going to be 9 episodes altogether. So they have a lot. After last night's Friday's episode, they have a lot to wrap up in episode 9. And I don't think they're going to. The actor you're looking for, Randall Park. And even though I thought he was good comic relief in Ant-Man, I really like that they made him a capable agent in this series. They gave him development. The same thing they did with the Kat Dennings character, who was mostly comic relief in the Thor movies. But now you see that, they're capable characters in this universe, and they have a reason. So I really enjoyed that, first of all. But where I think it's going is I don't think we're going to get a clean-cut ending to this at all. I think this is definitely being set up to lead right into Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, because I think Doctor Strange is going to have to help bring Wanda back. I think Agatha Harkness is still going to play a role, whether she comes back in Doctor Strange or later on, we don't know. But I thought that was a great veal. I thought Catherine Hahn's done a great job portraying the character. And this last episode was really dark, man. That beginning with the witches and her killing the coven around her and her mother, and the best thing about this last episode to me, besides the Vision reveal at the end where they reveal White Vision, before that scene even came, it ended with Agatha Harkness in the air going, "I know what you are now. You're a Chaos Witch, what we call a Scarlet Witch." And I'm like, finally, we got the name. They avoided saying Scarlet Witch this whole series. And what I think we're going to see is Wanda embrace that in the Doctor Strange movie and become a full Scarlet Witch. You're going to see Vision find his way back to her. Those two are too good together to keep them separated.
Right.
And I think through Doctor Strange and Wanda and Vision, I think you're going to start seeing by the end of that movie the formation of a new Avengers team.
Yeah, and that's going to be awesome, man. That's kind of where I think we're headed to. And one of my favorite parts too, like I said, with Marvel and the way that they do things, is just like the one episode. It was the Halloween episode, and they had them dressed up in the classic costumes,
Right.
And I thought, how great is that? I mean,
and all cheesy and homemade looking. It was awesome.
It was awesome. I mean, no, it was so good. I said, and it's amazing, because those shows are 30 minutes long, just like The Mandalorian. They do a phenomenal job of packing an insane amount of information
Story
into
and character
story into
development,
30
too.
minutes. I mean, it's insane. And then to do just 9 episodes, so that it's going to roll in. Like I said, I think it's going to roll into this Doctor Strange movie as well, because I think you're right. I think it's going to take Strange to bring her out of whatever this is, whatever's going on. What about the lady, the Rambo lady? When she went back through and, she went through for the 3rd time. And
Right.
as Darcy told her, look, this is changing your molecular structure every single time that you go through there. And so the last time that she goes through, she starts to see in that blue color, right?
The spectrum.
Like, spectrum. And so do you think that's who her character is ultimately going to be?
I don't think they're going to go. they're incorporating the Spectrum route, but I think they're going through Spectrum fast, and they're going to take a right to Photon. So I think, especially with all the hints when they have with her mom's name, where the Photon was her code name, just like when they did in the Captain Marvel movie, Carol Danvers' code name was the Avenger. See, and so I think that's where that's headed. I think because where they are now, they've skipped a lot in the comics. Like you never got the Miss Marvel phase of Captain Marvel. All right, and I don't think you're going to get the Spectrum phase of Monica Rambeau. I think you're going to get right to Photon. And then it's going to be full speed ahead.
And I think that'll be cool. I think she's a cool character. I think that's going to be really, really fun. One of my favorite scenes is when, Darcy ends up going through, right? And her and Vision are driving around in this ice cream truck. Driving around, and that was the one where they broke the fourth wall. I think that was in the name of the title. Where they were sitting there actually talking to,
like The Office.
Viewer, yeah, like The Office, and I freaking love that because I thought that was so funny, especially Vision sitting there. How powerful Vision is, and what he is, and he's just sitting there in that chair in that ice cream truck, and then they're driving around in it. The comedic relief in that was just phenomenal to me.
And none of that, that's another thing they do well, though. They take these little mundane, everyday moments, and they can turn it into something deeper. Something that silly as two people driving around in an ice cream truck talking to each other, but there's so many layers beneath it.
Yeah, no, and like I said, I have just been, like when it first started, I was like, oh God, what is this? But as it has gone on, man, it is so good. Like, I can't believe that I like it as much as I do. Well, maybe I should believe it because I dig all the Marvel movies. There's been very few of those movies that I just didn't like, in the MCU. And then, of course, being on Disney Plus and Mandalorian was so good, the second season. I can't be shocked that, like, it makes me really, really excited for, like, She-Hulk.
Oh, definitely. And in this last episode, too, because we're talking about the first three, those first three episodes make so much more sense when you watch episode 8 and you get into Wanda's past. Because Agatha Harkness has a leader through the past. She's looking for what the source of Wanda's power is. She knows she has magic about her, but the part that throws her is Wanda's also a mutant. She has an ability. That's not something Agatha can duplicate. So they're kind of leaving that open, and I want to see where that goes as well. There's going to be a lot to unpack in episode 9, and I really think that we're going to be left with a big cliffhanger leading into Doctor Strange. I think it's going to probably upset a lot of people, and it's going to satisfy a lot of people. But I think we're going to leave next week's episode with way more questions unanswered than answered. We'll get a few answers, and then we're going to get left with a bunch of cliffhangers, I think.
I can't wait. I can't wait. Like I said, man, it really is. It's just so good, and they do such a good job. And, and I'm a DC fan, right? And I just wish DC could somehow get it like Marvel does when it comes to these shows. I mean, DC's done a pretty decent job with, like, the Titans and Swamp Thing and Doom Patrol. They did a pretty decent job, with those series. But Marvel's just a step above, man, when it comes to that stuff. Like, it is just so freaking good. I mean, I don't know. I can't wait. So let us know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think Gary's on the right track? You think I'm on the right track? Like, what's your favorite parts of the show? Just let us know in the comments. If you got any topics you'd like to hear me discuss and, me and a guest discuss kind of going forward, leave that in the comments as well. But yeah, Gary, I appreciate you coming on with me, man. I've been dying to talk about WandaVision, just like dying to talk about it.
I will talk Marvel anytime. It's not a problem.
Yeah, you're all about that, aren't you, Gary?
I sure am.
I think we should just do Batman and Venom, and we'll talk about the different story arcs of those two characters, and
the rest of the world.
Yeah, we'll just have Gary B on, to discuss those things since those are his favorite books.
Right. Oh, yeah, he'll finally hear me trash something.
Yeah, Mr. A-OK is like, no, I'm kidding. Gary B's awesome, and I really appreciate you coming on, brother. So, guys,
Jimmy.
I hope you guys enjoyed this. Come back and see us. We got a cool week of stuff. I've got some good stuff coming up this week. A couple of cool mystery boxes that I'm going to open. The new comic book day top 5, the new format I'm doing that in. And then I've got on 10 questions, I've got Remy Q Studios. Jeremy from Remy Q comes on. We had a ball. Like, we actually had a great time getting to know each other. So I'm excited for everybody to see that. When Gary, you got any stuff coming up? I know it's we're recording this at Saturday, so I'm expecting a Savage Saturday like soon.
I do. I got to record Savage Saturday when I'm done with this. Something different. We're going to highlight a 6-issue series from DC from back in the day called Beowulf. And everyone knows who Beowulf is, and this is their adaptation. And the cool thing about this Savage Saturday is there's going to be a little bit more information with it. And there's some spells in the books, but the spells are all phrases that I noticed were written backwards. So there's messages in the spells, which I had a fun time looking at. And
that's cool,
because I noticed it, and I was like, "Oh!" So I'm sitting there tagging them all. Like Savage Saturday, I just posted a video today. I opened up a Jimmy Jam's garage sale box. I have and I got an AOK here to open from our buddy Low Budget Comics and Things, and Tagar Paramartha, who's always in our comments, a great supporter of the community. And I also have, if I could announce it here, if you don't mind.
Of course, go ahead.
I'm partnering up with my LCS, Rhinos Comics, and I had shot an Instagram video, but it was the first live I had done. I didn't know it didn't save it. I thought it'd be there to view after. So I'm going in tomorrow to shoot a video of his inventory. It might become a weekly thing depending on response. He's got a boatload of great Silver Age books: Avengers, Thor, Spider-Man, all pre-100s, Spider-Mans, just a ton of stuff. More pops and toys because he's a Diamond Select dealer, so he gets all those in. Incredible stuff for any collector out there. And there's going to be a special code, Gary B. If you call him up and order over the phone, say Gary B sent you, it is free shipping on whatever you order, free priority shipping.
Awesome.
So you get a bunch of books or a bunch of toys, he's going to ship it for free with the Gary B code.
There's a lot of cool stuff. I actually bought a book yesterday. Gary went live. I was at work, and he comes across this Action Comics reprint, a Nestle reprint from like in the 90s.
And 1983.
1983, and I messaged Gary, and I said, "Dude, pick that book up for me." And I sent him some cash, and he picked it up. So I'm looking forward to getting that. So, Gary, thanks, man, again for coming on. Guys, remember, go subscribe to both channels. Turn on the notification bell so you know. Gary's always putting out some really fun content. I really enjoy the Savage Saturdays. I think those are fun. And then when he does the bargain reads done dirt cheap, greatest title ever. And I like it when he does that too. And he's turned me on to a couple of series that I really have enjoyed reading. So definitely go check those out. And of course, we always thank you guys. I finally hit 500 subs. Pretty pumped about that. And, of course, now I'm going to announce a 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I'm 480 subs away, but I'm going to do a 1,000 subscriber giveaway, and we're going to bring the pain and get me to 1,000 subs. So, all right, guys, appreciate you watching. And as always in these things, until next time.
Keep it casual.